Hello guys, my name is Khan, and in today's video I will teach you guys that how you can reference the cells in VBA, and after referencing cell I will also discuss that how you can assign the values in VBA or through VBA to your workbook. So let's start with my Excel. So this is the main page. So I will be using a new workbook. So before starting working on my workbook, what I will do is that I will save it first. The first thing is that I will be using it as using a macros in this file. So I will go to file. I will say save. I have this folder, and I will be using this folder, and I will call it ref file. And instead of saving it as Excel workbook, I will be using it as Excel macro enabled workbook. As I said that I will be creating a macro in this workbook. So before going further, I will be using this developer tab. If you don't have developer tab, you can easily go to your options, and within the options, if you go to customize ribbon, and you can select this here we have developer tab checked in, so you can check in, and then you will be able to see developer tab too if there is no developer tab in your Excel. Okay, so now I will go to developer. As I said that I will be creating a macro, so I will go to Visual Basic. So I'm using as you can see, this is the ref XLS project that I'm on which I will be creating my macro. So what I will do, I will go to this down arrow button and I will say insert a module. So once a module, so now I can start creating a macro. So as you know that in order to create a macro, you have to start with sub, and after that you have to write down the macro name, which will be in this case cell ref. This name could be anything, and then two empty parentheses, open and close, and then after that I will be entering. So whatever macro I will write down will start from this sub and will end with this line, end sub. So if you go back to my Excel sheet, so you can see that A1 is selected. So if A1 selected means that this is the active cell. So suppose, let's see, if I want to assign some value to this active cell, how can I do that? So I will write down active cell dot, because I want to assign a value in it, value is equal to 1. So let's see if I go to run this macro. Okay, look here, you can see that my active cell got assigned to this active cell because I have written down in my macro. And now suppose if I want to enter a new value, but instead of this active cell I want to go down and also want to write down to here. One of the way you can do this, that you can use the offset command with the active cell. How you can do it? So you will be writing down in VBA active cell, and then instead of writing value I will be saying offset, and within the offset I will be creating a parenthesis. What is offset is saying it's kind of a referencing from your active cells. So after offset I can tell that okay, go one row down and assign and activate another cell. So how can I do? So I will be saying row 1, 0, because I don't want to change the column. So I will be saying go one row down and then dot activate. Let's say what it happened. So if I run it now, you can say that this selection, the selection was A1, now the selection is A2. But suppose if I want to go to B2, how can I do? But again, I will select first my A1 because I was already in A1. And suppose if I want to go compared to my active cell, I want to go here in B2. How can I say? Under the offset, you will be writing down compared to where you are currently are. So I am currently on A1, so I want to go to B2. So I will be saying go to another one column ahead from A, which is B. So I will be saying move one column and go one column down row compared to my active cell. So if I do it now, you can see I am at B2 now. Again, if I now, because now my selected cell is B2, if I run this code again, I will be here in C3. Let's do it. So you can see one got assigned here because I have written down in my macro active cell value is equal to 1. And then based on offset, I am saying compared to my active cell, where to go and which cell to activate. So you can play around with this offset functionality to learn more. Another thing that I like to show you guys, that if I go to my Excel workbook, so currently we are in C3, but suppose if you want to go backwards in column, you can use negative. So suppose if I write down -2, so I will be here when I will execute the code, I will be here. Let's do. And as you can see, because of -2, I am going towards the left, in the left side of the columns. And when I'm using the positive columns, 2, and now if I execute, you can see I am here. So you can play around with this active cell offset option according to your need. I will be making it again, and I will be deleting all these numbers that I have shown you guys while playing around with this offsetting. And now let's see if I execute it again, play, and you can see I am here, but I don't want to, I want to go down, not on the right side of the direction. So now if I execute it here, I am here. But once after activating the row below the active cell, I want to assign a value. Let's say if I copy the same command again to here, and now instead of 1, I will be saying 2. And let's say if I do it here again. But the point to note here is that now when I'm executing it, first this active cell got assigned 1 again, and then we will go down 1 row, and then my macro will assign it 2 here instead of here, because this is the active cell. So I will go here. You can see it here. But suppose if you are wondering that because the active cell keeps on changing, so that's why if I keeps on running this macro, we will keeps on going down because our active cell keeps on moving. So if you don't want that, you can easily, what you can do, there is an other way of activating, or so I can say here that always come to, whenever I will run this macro, first go to some cell which is cells 1,1. So I'm saying come to column A and come to the row number 1, and then select. So if I delete all these things that I have just assigned because of executing my macro again and again, and now if I play it, you can see 1, 2, and it will remain 1, 2 now because I have told in my macro that always come to first this cell A11 and then keeps on doing the things. So therefore now if I play this macro again, you will be saying no values will go down because I have told my macro always come to A1, then select that, and within that selection make that active cell values equal to 1, and then go down by 1, and then in the A2 assign this value which is 2. That's why I will not keeps on going down, and this will allow us to control active cell referencing to. So other than that, now I will show. So as I said that this way is another way of activating the cell or referencing the cell that on which you want to work on. And after that, I would like to show that how you can assign a value to a cell. So there are several ways. So one of the way that I will cover in this video is that suppose if I want to create suppose if I want to assign some cell value to my local that I'm creating within my macro. How can I do that? So suppose I have this value which I have just created in D1 and I want to assign it to a local. So how I will do? First, I will be creating a local. So I will be saying dim dd. You can name it whatever, A or D. So I will be saying as double. So double can create any numeric value regardless it's fraction or integer. Double, and then I will be saying D is equal to my value is the value that I want to assign is D1. So I will be saying cells 1 comma my column is D. So this is one of the way in which you can assign the cell value to your local, but make sure that the value that you are assigning should be on the right hand side of the equality, and to the object you are assigning the value should be on the left side. So I have already the value in this cell which I want to assign it to D. So that's why it should be on the left side. Otherwise you may get error. So now suppose I have this local, but I want this value of local get assigned to E1. But before going further, you have seen that I have used here D in inverted commas, but D is a fourth column. So instead of writing down D, you can also write down like 4 2. It will do the same thing. So if I do again execute it, A control play. Now you can see, because I haven't used this D value, I will anywhere else in the code. So suppose now I want to assign this D to cells 1 2 5. 5 is my E column, sorry, is equal to, and I can even operate mathematical operation. Suppose DE plus 1. So now as I said that here the value is 4. The value 4 got assigned to D by this, because the cell 1 4, or I can is 4, and then 4 value got assigned to D, and then I am saying add 1 to D, which is now become 5, and then that 5 get assigned to row number 1, column number 5, which is E. So let's see if I do it now, execute it. You can see it here in the E5 I have 5 value, but as I said, instead of writing down 5, you can also write down like E2. It will do the same. As you can see here, again we have 5, no errors. And suppose now if I change, just for clarity, just change the values to 6, and here instead of writing down 4, I will be saying D. I'm just showing that you can even reference the column by the column name or by numeric integer 2 in terms of in which number it is appearing. So D is 4, that's why I was having 4. Now I'm writing down D, execute it, it will do the same as it is. So in this video we have I have covered that how you can activate the cell. You can activate the cell by by this command too. Then we can say that how you can assign the value to an active cell with this, and then how you can move to different cell by referencing the same cell. Another thing before ending this video that I would like to cover that even sometimes, so here if you have looked down here, that we have set to in our macro we have written down that go to offset and go to one column below to the active cell, and then assigning the value. But offset can also allow you one more thing which I will like to cover, that if I do it here, comment here, and instead and I will do this thing, copy and paste it here, and instead of activating it, I will be saying value is equal to 3. So let's say what happens. So if I execute it now, if you can see, we have 3 here now, but still my selection is A2. Why is this happening? Because of this command, I am saying that go one row down in the same column, because 0 is here, and assign the value is equal to 3. But I am not activating it. Before I was activating it first, and then I'm assigning the value. Here I'm just referencing the cell based on the current selection, and I am changing the value in that cell, but I am not changing the active cell. So again, in this video we have covered that how you can reference the cells, how you can activate the cell, how you can change the values in the cell, and then how you can assign values to a cell. So this is all about this video. Thank you for watching the video.